joined once again by assistant coach Frank Hjortebjerg. Frank, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, always. Just give a little update. How was training today?
Training was, like we just spoke about before we started here, a little bit more wet than usual. But otherwise, good to get out there after a day off yesterday. So, yeah, we're back to it.
Very rare rainy day in San Diego. But what can you tell us about this match versus LAFC? You know, what have you been able to break down and kind of analyze from that matchup?
Yeah, so clearly a game that's split into two parts. We were fairly happy with the first half, and also a big portion of the second half. And then a series of events starts happening as the game moves towards the end. And we are very sad that we didn't manage the ending of the game in a better way, because of course we really wanted that win, and again, for a large part of the game we felt like we did a lot, so we actually had a good chance of getting there, but not happy with how the game ended, of course, and how we conceded those 2 goals to make it a draw, but still an important point, and still for us a good step in the direction that we are heading against a good team. So many positives, but of course everyone desperately wanted that win, us also. But we try to still look a lot on the process and how we take steps in the right direction, given the current situation.
I have a question. So at one point, Mikey mentioned that you guys moved to a back 5. Can you discuss what the thought process was beforehand to making that decision? What were you guys seeing on the field? And then did you feel like it helped you guys, take control of the game? Or do you felt like maybe it invited a little bit too much pressure, which led to, obviously them tying it up?
Yeah. So it's always the balance of when it's the right time to do it, and is it even the right time to do it? What we saw during the game was that obviously they put more and more players on the last line, and then they went more direct earlier and put some good 1v1 players, both centrally but also out wide. And to take care of that width a little bit more, we wanted an extra guy in. So we weren't giving so much space on the back line, but actually being able to go and put a lot of pressure. So that was the rationale behind it. And was it the right decision? Was it not? Clearly, when the game ends the way it does, and you concede 2 goals, you have to reflect on whether that was the case that we lost some pressure on the ball, or it was more what actually happened on the back line and what happened in these isolated situations. So definitely, it's been a big part of the analysis for us to look into that. But that was the thoughts behind it.
Talked about before the importance of wanting to getting back to scoring a goal in open play. And obviously we know the importance of wanting to score off a set piece when you have the opportunity to do that. You have that both in this last matchup. Can you just walk us through kind of some of those plays and what that did to tell you, looking like the team is getting back into the form that we're used to?
Yeah, obviously the set piece goal was massive for us, also because it came after like a very good period of us and a good start to the game where we felt like we put them under pressure. Very good setup. By Jason, prepared well. Good blocks by the guys clearing that space perfectly for Marcus, and a very solid header from perfect delivery. So that was a textbook example. And the second goal comes from a good pressing sequence where we're pushing the team well. We are having good distance in the team, which makes it easy for Oscar to release and go and put pressure and be aggressive there. Winning that ball and then passing it on to Anders, who's always good at finding these spaces and positions. And then, good connection between these 2 guys, and then Marcus with his right foot. We focus a lot on trying to make sure that we're getting in good scoring positions, of course, but also that we need an extra touch to make the shot a little bit more clear. Marcus does that well to set himself off, and then a good finish. So, 2 good goals.
It feels like this team's been kind of stacking these performances. At first it was, good first half against Portland. Now you got a good solid 80 minutes. What does this team need to do to be able to finish out that and have a complete, good performance and another good result.
Yeah, we gotta stay consistent, and we gotta be able to sub in players that keeps the level that we have or raise the level that we have, so we can finish the game stronger. And we gotta make sure that when things get obviously more chaotic, more stressed, things that we touched on in this podcast early on, that we keep managing those moments better, simply better.
Going on the road this weekend to Seattle, what can you give us the breakdown on that matchup?
Seattle, a very, very solid team, very balanced team. They do a lot of things at a high level, and mature team who constantly puts on very, very good performances and are just very, very solid at what they do. And we got to find a way to be a lot on the ball and to try to dominate the game with our style of play, even though it's in a road game for us. And then we got to make sure that we control the ending of the game also, and those phases of the game where we know we will struggle a little bit, because we will definitely have moments of that against them. But we got to get through those periods in a good way. But a good matchup. I think it'll be an exciting game.
Well, looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, no, I had a question. So you're up 2-0, right, in that game. And it was seemingly in pretty good control, right? So I'm just thinking back from when I was a player. I've been in moments where we kept giving up 2-goal leads for whatever reason with right. New York Red Bulls in a moment. And it was almost as if like, hey, everything was good, but as soon as we gave up that first one, like it creeps into your head like, oh no, like let's not give up another 2-goal lead. This is the third or fourth straight game or whatever it was. But did you notice any key behaviors on the field that occurred after the first goal that you felt like wasn't occurring up until those 80 minutes before that first goal? I mean, obviously the second goal comes, we can argue all day about the call, which, is hard to determine if it's a handball or not. Obviously, in my eyes, it is all day. Yeah. If that guy heads it, it goes off his arm and goes in the goal, it's a handball according to the law. But because it goes to another guy, they're saying it isn't, whatever it may be. But just in general, did you notice any key behaviors after that first goal? Body language or...
No, that was not what I saw. But we focused a lot more on the first goal than the second goal.
Okay.
Because obviously it's the first goal we want to avoid.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are happening. We have a guy on the sideline for a concussion check. When they start the ball, we play a man down. We try to set a structure that we don't get right. Like there's a lot of things in that goes wrong that we could have done better from a team perspective, from a group perspective. So it's more that part that we focus on. I didn't notice any special behavior that we have addressed where we felt like we got afraid or I know exactly the feeling.
Or maybe over panicked or, started playing longer or anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't really see it. I didn't see it that way. At least that's not what we've been speaking about. But of course, you can all recognize the feeling.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows that feeling, which is why we focus so much on the first goal, because I'll say up to minute 80, it looked like a clean sheet for us.
Yeah.
So we have focused more on the things that happens around that goal than the period right after the first goal.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to watching this team take on Seattle this weekend, hitting the road. So thank you, Frank, for all the insight, and we appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Frank.
This match preview is presented by Alaska Airlines. Our friends at Alaska Airlines are rewarding fans all season long by giving you 100 Atmos Rewards points for every SDFC home goal. Registration resets for 2026, so be sure to sign up again at atmosrewards.com/SDFC. Make sure you all have your calendars marked for our World Cup soccer celebration at Fifth Social in Belmont Park from June 11th to July 19th. We are transforming Fit Social into an electrifying viewing experience where you will be fully immersed in all 104 matches on our 22-foot screen every day, every minute of the action. Join us for individually hosted watch parties for our SDFC community that include live music, wellness activations, and insider perspectives from our SDFC team. Head over to our San Diego FC website at www.sdfc.com/World Cup right now to sign up for our hub and get first access to fast passes, exclusive fan experiences, and our event schedule. We're so excited to celebrate this cultural milestone with you. All right, next up, we have your Matchday -2 media availability. You're going to hear from head coach Mikey Varas, forward Amahl Pellegrino, and midfielder Aníbal Godoy as they talk about the team's mentality going on the road to face Seattle Sounders this weekend.
We're focused on a strong road performance against a very good team, and to take what we've done in the last couple of games, especially the last game, for 66, 70 minutes at a very high level and extend it to 90.
What are questions?
In talking about the past couple of weeks of better performance through game days, what does that look like on the training days? We've heard that the team has been developing and responding well. What are some of the things that you see in that with different players and how they are able to respond? What does that mean?
What I see on the training pitch is we're playing with more tempo. I think you can see the intensity of our game raising from a point where it was kind of dipping for a second, and I think that makes all the difference for us. And then ultimately, I see just a great energy from the boys in terms of the effort, the intensity, the focus they give, but also the open-mindedness to receive feedback.
And what are the things that make it difficult in terms of some players coming back from injury and some players that have had that rhythm? Where do you just step in to make sure that everybody's on that same page, and what are the steps to do that?
Yeah, you just need time on the training pitch. We don't have enough time, right? Because we have guys who are on return-to-play protocols on game day, and they're under minute restrictions, which is already a challenge enough. On top of that, they're also in a rhythm. They're trying to gain rhythm. So that doesn't help them, but they're all warriors in terms of having the right mentality and doing whatever it takes to give their best to help the team.
And it just came out that Jacob Jackson is once again joining the team as goalkeeper. Any injury update for CJ specifically, and what it means for the goalkeeper room moving forward?
Yeah, CJ has a nose injury. It shouldn't be a long-term, but it's also definitely not a quick turnaround. So he just needs to focus on his recovery to get to be able to play again, and then to regain his rhythm because he was headed in a really good direction. But we're happy to have Jacob be able to step up. We know him well, and he knows us well.
Mikey, how irritating all these injuries? You just get CJ, you put him back in the lineup, now you lose him again. You've had other injuries to the back line. Pelly's dealt with an Achilles. The list kind of goes on. How irritating has it been to deal with everything?
I would say it's what life is asking of me, and I can complain and make excuses, or I can get on with it and find a solution and make sure I help put the team in the best position to win the game on the weekend. I choose the latter because that's who I want to be as a leader, and that's who we want to be as a club.
Fans might see the team and see they've let up a lot of late goals. The FC Dallas game, we all saw Lake earlier this year. Portland, the LAFC, those two goals. Aníbal Godoy, one was kind of a mishap there with him coming off the pitch. But is there any rhyme or reason to why so many late goals are happening against the club right now?
We can't hide from it. It's the fans can think it because it's the reality. It's happened, and we need to close both halves better in the games. And I think a lot of it has to do with when you have guys that are finding their rhythm that get subbed in late. There's things that can happen there, and these guys are challenging themselves to make sure that when they come off the bench, they're really ready to change the game in a positive way. I think in the last game, the referee really lets us down also because he puts us in a tough situation on what's not even a foul because his hand goes to his chest, not his face, but the player throws himself down and the referee buys it. But ultimately, some of those things are outside of your control. What's inside our control is making sure we get as many guys with the rhythm possible, and we put it in our minds that we have to be more consistent for the whole 90, because we put together 70 fantastic minutes. Then there was about 10 minutes that were, I would say, a loss of momentum in general in the game. It was there was nothing really happening, And then there was 10 plus the stoppage time where we really suffered and ended up dropping points.
And then Amahl Pellegrino, obviously, after you guys acquired him last year, he was scoring goals left, right, and center. He started off great this year with a goal. It kind of seems like he hasn't had the same production as of late. Is there other teams just figuring him out, or is I know he also dealt with the injury, but where do you feel like his production is for the team right now?
Yeah, I think Pele came in against, let's see, he comes in for a little bit against Salt Lake. He creates a huge chance. Cabral makes a massive save. He comes in against Houston, gets a red card. He's red carded against Portland, and then he gets his first start on the weekend, and I thought he had a really, really good game. So what I would say is that he's flying and he's ready to fly. It's just a matter of he probably needs a couple of games to get back to his best also. But he hasn't really had continuity, and I think that he's going to be massive for us.
How much of the late struggles can be attributed to just growing pains for one of the league's youngest backlines, if not the youngest?
Definitely. I mean, you learn how to play the game, right? Every single facet of that game, and part of it is learning how to be able to maintain that energy and that consistency for 90 plus minutes. Also, how do you come off the bench in a high tense moment? You know, how much experience have you had with that? Again, though, that can't be an excuse in the short term. It's something that's definitely worthwhile to reflect on and to help orientate the team, but also individual players towards improvement. At the same time, demanding of ourselves that we close games stronger.
Mikey, Andres Dreyer assisted both of Marcus and Barton's goals this past match. What makes that connection so special?
I think they know each other very well. Obviously, they're both Danish, but more importantly, I think on and off the field, they know each other well. They're friends. Like a lot of the guys that we have on this team, there's good connections both on and off the field. And ultimately, our 1+1 can never equal 2. It's always got to equal more than 2. So I think that's just one example of how that happens in our environment.
In reaction to Manu being called up for the Ghanaian national team, essentially just being part of that squad and what it means for the team and him individually?
What I would say is Manu is a player that I've stated before has tremendous potential, tremendous talent, great mindset, and if he stays on the right mental path with the right mentality, and he continues to get the right pathway, whether that be here or somewhere else, that Manu Duo will be able to play in any league in the world.
Final question?
En español.
You could do it. Yeah, final question.
Una previa para este encuentro contra Seattle, que pues, va a ser el visitante de nuevo y que eso es lo que se espera este fin de semana.
Ya, la previa es tenemos que ir afuera de casa y demostrar un rendimiento y una actitud de salir a ganar el partido. Hemos hecho un muy buen último partido, los primeros 70 minutos, y tenemos que ahora considerar un partido de 90 minutos más el extra para volver a ese rendimiento que te da los 3 puntos.
¿Y cuál es uno de los ejemplos de ese rendimiento que ven en los entrenamientos de día a día que han estado progresando a los jugadores?
Ya veo que el equipo está jugando con más velocidad y más intensidad en su juego. Yo creo que había 2 o 3 partidos donde la velocidad del juego bajó un poquito y nos pusimos un poquito por ahí predecible, y en el último partido jugamos con un gran ritmo y estamos viendo ese ritmo subiendo cada día en el entrenamiento.
Kind of stepping away from the home games, coming off 2 back-to-back, but just an opportunity to face a team like Seattle and just what it means for the group at this time, and how you guys are heading into this game, the atmosphere in the group.
The atmosphere in the group is good. We have been working really hard, try to fix some things that haven't really worked in our favor for some games. We're just trying to find ourselves again, and it was a step in the right direction against LA for a majority of the game, and but we still have to be consistent for the full 90 minutes and plus extra time.
And what has been your personal trajectory in developing, coming back to the squad, whether it's for the injury or just the game after Houston? What have you personally been working on in order to make yourself more available for the squad?
Oh, I have an injury that will be there all the time, so it's just to be smart with the load and try to have power in the Achilles and stuff like that. But most of all, it's good to be back on the field and have sessions with the team, and then we will address the problem in the break and try to fix it. But right now, the main focus is to try and fix what we can do on the pitch.
And then how have you been noticing other teams be able to adapt to the style that you're bringing? As San Diego FC has a specific way of playing, it seems like some teams have been able to have a counter to that. Are you seeing that on the pitch whenever you're playing?
Of course, it will always be a counter when you do good, and then people will notice what we do good and stuff like that. But our main problem this year, it's like we haven't been able to train good with a lot of injuries. We had a lot of red cards this year, and so it has been hard to have a team that have been able to go together for a longer period. But now we have a pretty good group in every training session, and of course Jeppe is out, and that's a big loss for every team. Against LA, I felt like we came back with a lot more energy, and we looked a little bit more like ourselves.
Amahl, Mikey just talked about kind of the inconsistencies of your season, whether it's injuries or coming off the bench. How have you viewed the season so far for you, and where's your confidence level on? He said he feels like you'll be able to fly when the time comes.
Yeah, I feel much better. I had a period where I was struggling really bad, and when you can't run, it's not so fun to play football because the only thing you're doing is running and jumping, and that's painful. But now I feel I have it a little bit more controlled, and been able to train with the team. That's the most important, because then you feel like you have the game situations in the trainings and not just going into a game. So it feels much better now, and yeah, I'm ready for Saturday.
You said you're going to try and fix your injury when the break comes. Have you consulted on what that might look like, what you're going to try and go through to rehab?
Yeah. So we will wait until we're done, and then I think we have a pretty clear plan with the medical staff. So that's a problem we will take later.
And this club has kind of had some struggles closing out matches, a lot of late goals for other teams. What's the energy need to be to close out matches strong?
It's just that's how football is. Sometimes everything goes like you want, and the confidence in the team flies. Right now, maybe the confidence is not right there, but I feel like from the last game, we took a really big step. People probably won't say it, but I feel it was a step in the right direction against Houston too. We conceded a goal on maybe only the only chance they have, and we have the ball pretty much the whole game, but we weren't good enough in the final third, and that's have been our problem lately. So it's just to try and find the solutions there in the final third, and we're starting to look pretty much ourselves in the playing with the possession in the team, and yeah.
As an attacker, Amahl, what's your mindset going up against a defensive unit like Seattle, especially when the chances are expected to be limited?
No, it's just you have to take care of that one chance you get, and then you have to think about the next chance. So all the teams in MLS is tough to play against, and Seattle the last years have been really good. So it will be a really tough game, but we go there with a belief that we will have a good game and try to take 3 points on the road.
How important is it to get off to a fast start in an environment like that?
A fast start?
Yeah.
Always important who you meet, but against a team like that, maybe more important. But yeah, we just try to think about ourselves and not so much about the opponent. And if we do our job, it will give us a chance to win against a good team. If we come there and are afraid of who we meet and everything, then I think it's not so easy to win.
when you guys talk about being better in the final third, we can see the creativity. You want to play for a better shot often. But is there a case sometimes where the way it's going, you want to just take a shot, test the goalkeeper a little bit more? Like you said, we know what we want to do and how we want to play. Sometimes, though, maybe we can just put a little bit more pressure on the goalkeeper and see what happens.
Yeah, it's always a balance, and right now we haven't had that. We haven't been good enough in the final third, and we haven't created enough chances. So that's been our main problem, and we are working on that every day on the field, and we have been training really good. But now it's just to get it out in a game, and not for a short period of time, but for a longer and hopefully 90 good minutes.
What's been your experience so far now, starting a season here at MLS with San Diego FC? What are your thoughts on just the league itself and how it's been developing?
It's not any different. The only difference is like we didn't have a preseason like all the others. We came back and straight into CONCACAF chaos. So that's have been the only difference, will I say? But yeah, everyone wants to play the games, and it was a cool run. It didn't end like we wanted, but it's something new for the club, and hopefully the club will get another chance.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.
This week on Celeb News, Hollywood's newest posse. It's DirecTV's Genre Packs. Curated collections of your favorite channels and streaming apps together. Check out The Bad Boy, My Sports, The Heartthrob, Mi Español, and The Hot One, My Entertainment, with Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max included. Starting at just $34.99 a month. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Apps vary by pack. Prices may vary through third parties. Credit card and restrictions apply. 18 plus. See details at directtv.com/genre packs.
Aníbal, what has been the team response to you in that midfield as a captain in Yepes' position? What has it been like in training this last week since LAFC to make those adjustments for the next game?
Yeah, I think it's not only last week. I think the last 3 weeks we was playing really well. I think we improved a lot of team. I think more in the energy side. I think we improved in that part a lot, and we start to control the game a little bit more. I think this is like like identity. I think when we have the ball really well, and when we move the other team like really well, I think we have chance to win the game. I think right now we are in good way. We know we need result. We know, and everybody know. It's football is about win, but I think in the way we play and the way we win, I think here matter. It's really important, and this is why I think we're doing really good step in that way.
And then obviously playing the certain play style with Red Dream and how that comes together added to your play style. What are those differences, or what are the sazon that you add in being able to...
Yeah, I think the energy more, because I think the energy side for me is very important to try to bring that energy to the team, because I think we have a really good player here, really good quality, but I think sometimes we miss that energy, I think the energy is really important in the game also, to not only have the ball every single time and also working without ball is really important here, and more when you lose the ball, that reaction like from the team, I think improved the last 2 weeks. This is what I think we control a little bit more the game, because I think we play in their half of the field, I think it's really improved for the team this year, and this last 3 weeks, and we have to continue to do that job.
Aníbal, this team's let up a lot of late goals to opposing teams in the 80th minute, 90th minute stoppage time. Why do you feel like that is, and what does this team need to do to kind of...
I think we have to be more focused, I think in the detail, more in the last, not only last 5 minutes, I think the last 15 minutes, the last 2 games, we lose a little bit the control of the game. And also we play against really good team, LAFC and Poland. Yeah, they have really good player individually, and you have to be more focused in that time because in what moment they can change the game, and this is what happened last game. We feel like we have the control of the game, and in 1 second everything changed. I think we have to be more focused in that detail in set piece. I think we are working this week about this, and we have to improve a lot in that part of the game.
Aníbal, some of the younger players in particular, they only knew a lot of winning. Now when you hit a stretch like this, as a Capitan, what do you say, especially for the young guys?
Yeah. Try to be put a little bit calm in the team, speak with them a lot. Because we know, they start to play football, and last year, for example, we don't have that sensation too much. Everything is winning, and everything is a good way. And right now you have to see who is in our way, and who is ready to play in that moment, to find that momentum. And I think we have really good young guys. Mentally, I think they understand really well the game, but also they have this really good the moment, and they understand we are in no good situation right now, and they try to also push in the team, pushing the older player. This is good for us because sometimes you need that one for the other player, more for the young guys. It's not only all too young, it's also sometimes young to all, and try to be ready to listen, also. And I think we have really good mix in that way, and I think everything is right now everything is about one game. It's about win one game and everything change. We know that part, but if we start to thinking and focus too much in different things outside from football, I think this is the moment when the things start to shake a little bit. But right now the thing is not shaking. Right now we are really focused, and we know in which way we want to go.
Do you handle young defenders differently on going on the road, especially in an environment like Seattle? Is it more about managing their emotions or the tactics?
Both. I think both, because like what I say, in the way we play, I think we don't care. Sometimes if we go away or home, we play in the same style, and this is what we doing last year, and we're doing really well. We don't change anything, because when you start to change something, is when you start to have a problem, and I think right now it's not time to change. We're going with the same mentality like when we're playing home the last two games. I think if you see this thing for 65, 70 minutes from the game, I think control the energy high, the tempo is high. I know Seattle have really good team, and it's difficult to play in Seattle. They have a different grass right now, but this thing is ready for every challenge is coming in the front.
En los entrenamientos, ¿qué han sido los pasos que han notado, paso por paso, que van mejorando este equipo, ahora también teniendo a ti de capitán? ¿Cómo ha cambiado esta dinámica en esos últimos meses?
Sí, no solo la última semana, creo que el último mes, o los últimos 3 partidos ha sido muy bueno en los entrenamientos y en los partidos. Creo que hemos demostrado de lo que somos capaces, de que podemos nosotros controlar el partido muy bien. Esto es, como lo dije, el fútbol es de resultados. Sabemos que un partido cambia mucho, con una victoria cambia toda la sensación del equipo, del staff. Entonces creo que esa victoria llegará, pero también las maneras como se busca la victoria aquí es importante, y un equipo que muestra jugar fútbol siempre y está acostumbrado a jugar un buen fútbol, un lindo fútbol. Creo que la gente se identifica con eso, la gente de San Diego. Entonces creo que no podemos cambiar nuestra idea. Por ahí sí, la energía tiene que seguir, porque creo que eso es lo que nos está dando el dar un paso hacia adelante en lo que queremos. Entonces por ahí estamos mejorando cada día.
¿Cómo manejas el balance en términos mental y físico, teniendo el torneo de la Copa del Mundo, el Mundial, y luego teniendo también la responsabilidad aquí como jugador del club?
Sí, creo que lo he dicho muchas veces. Yo me debo al club primero, a San Diego. Si no estoy bien en San Diego, difícilmente vaya a la selección. Entonces no puedo pensar en la selección si no estoy bien aquí. Entonces sé que en estos momentos son complicados, a un mes de la Copa del Mundo. Creo que entre más te cuidas, creo que es donde pasan más las situaciones. Entonces trato de yo enfocarme en no pensar en lo que viene la Copa del Mundo, ¿sabes? Porque sé que si estoy listo aquí, si estoy bien físicamente, voy a llegar bien allá. Entonces creo que me enfoco primero aquí, y ya cuando venga la selección ya pensaré en ello en su momento.